Blue Devils, them boys.
This presentation is brought to you by Smoooth Productions.
Welcome to another edition of your Wednesday night Sports Delight, the platform sports talk show.
Did she subscribe?
Right.
She's down on YouTube.
Representing from the Boondocks. What up, Jobo?
Hello, what's up? Happy with
What up? Happy repping her Hey Sister Soldier look right now. Everybody give it up for Bunny. What's happening, Bunny?
What's up? Happy holiday.
T-Bone, what's going on, brother?
I'm back, and I don't know about better than ever, but I'm back.
What is going on, party people? It is your Wednesday night Sports Delight, the platform sports talk show. I am your boy Smooth. I think that may be on a highlight reel tape. And we're glad that you are tuning in live along with the millions and millions of the platform sports talk show fans on once again your Wednesday night Sports Delight.
Really?
Or really?
Brinks truck backing up in his driveway with
There you go.
97 million. There you go.
All you hear is this.
Probably somebody who's doing something to give back and letting the next generation.
Say straight.
Have me syrup on here.
Come on now, don't have me tear up. You know I get emotional.
But people watching around the world, no pressure. And we already have our favorite fan, Ms. Williams, saying welcome, Brandon.
Well, how are you? Hi, Ms. Williams.
A guy who tried to give it his all and put on for the city, to be truthful. Because like I said, I'm St. Louis die hard.
The views of Smooth does not reflect the Platform Sports Talk Show or its sponsors.
What is going on, party people? It is I, your boy Smooth, along with and it is the main show, and we are back, baby, for the first time in this month. Man, good to see you again, brother.
How you doing, sir?
Doing well.
Good?
Y'all know what this is. This is the main show of the Platform Sports Talk Show Network. And, we're just glad to be here and look forward to talking about a lot of sports, because since the last time you was on the show, no matter if it's been man cave, ladies night, whatever it is, it's been a lot of stuff going on in the world of sports.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has.
And that's why we have this show, because we want to give our viewpoints. We're not claiming to be experts or we know everything. We just want to give our opinion, and we want to get your opinion as well, because that's why I have this show. That's why it's called The Platform, because we are providing a platform for you who love sports to go ahead and, tune in and leave your comments, leave your questions, leave your thoughts, because the more people that's tuning in and the more people that leave the comments and the whole nine, the better this show is going to be. But yeah, I'm excited about this show, man.
Okay, I'm ready to jump in when you ready to jump in.
All right, cool. Well, before we do that, let me go and let y'all know about the Platform Sports Talk Show, where y'all can, find us and everything. So, of course, on your screen right now, for those watching, you can give us a follow on Facebook, the Platform Sports Talk Show, on the X at 314 Sports Talk, on Instagram at Platform Sports Talk, Go on YouTube, subscribe, and click on that bell so anytime we go live, you will be notified. You can email us at platformsportstalkshow@gmail.com. Y'all know someone that will be an incredible person to have on the show. Email us. We got you. Or if you have an event, sporting event, and you want us to, do some coverage, get some interviews on the spot, the whole nine, we got you too. So show us the email. And then if for some reason, you can't see us because maybe you out driving right now, you can't really, focus on looking on your screen. You can also tune in right now and listen on high definition on Hot 365 Radio, where it is always hot. Check them out on hot365radio.com or via the app on iOS or Android. Just go to the Play Store, put in Hot 365 Radio. You will see the logo, and boom, you are all G-O-O-D good. And also, you can catch the replay of our most recent show each Sunday at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. They also have a Twitch channel that, if you want to check them out on Twitch, go to twitch.tv/Hot365 Radio. Every first Wednesday of the month, Ladies Night.
First of the month.
And last week, their show was amazing with Aisha Foy. And when I say from the highlight reels, all the posts, Ladies Night has gotten a lot of pub from that interview. It was an amazing show. She was on the whole show. Shouts out to Aisha doing very big things, and to the ladies who did an amazing job. Bunny, Jobo, and my SA Dub, Jayance, just adding a whole nother element to Ladies Night. So the crew continues to do amazing things. It's the best panel of ladies who love sports. And then, of course, every last Wednesday of the month, the fellas hold things down and close it out. You know what I'm saying? With the man cave, Mario's on there, Stan the host, Sadal, T-Bone. He'll be back very soon, y'all, so stay tuned for that. Craig Black, the fellas just be having incredible conversations, and you just never know what goes down because it's the man cave and anything can go down.
Can go down
in the man cave. And then if you maybe want to check out something outside of sports talk, yours truly does have Smoooth Conversations. You can check it out on YouTube, Smoooth Conversations. That is Smooth with 3 O's. And on Beat District Radio, the new Beat District Radio. Go to beatdistrictradio.com. And also they have an app. Go to Live 365 on the app. Type in Beat District Radio when you get to that app. And then just add Beat District Radio as a favorite. And you would check out Smoooth Conversations every Thursday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. So Smoooth Conversations is doing amazing things. I have an amazing fam, not team, but fam for the new Beat District Radio. So as I always say, stay tuned and stay smooth. So with that being said, let me go ahead. There we go. So with that being said, let me go ahead and officially bring on the panel up first, holding things down from the Boondocks. Oh, you got two people saying it now. You know it's real. Jobo, what's happening?
Y'all are vibing tonight.
Yeah.
Vibing. Making me jealous of what's in them solo cups. But no, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Like I said, pre-show, it feels amazing outside. It's still light outside. Taking it all in because you never know in the Lou what weather's going to come next. But right now, I love it. It feels great.
Yeah, I was going to say earlier too, before you brought it up, that yes, it's you. This is what you wanted, Joe. It's a nice sunshine weather. I mean, hey, I'm wearing shorts for the first time on the Platform Sports Talk Show this year. So that's when it's starting to feel real good outside, and it's getting darker, later and
Later,
everything.
darker, yeah.
And then you have the official start of spring coming up in about a good week and a half or so. So, everything is getting hot except for them Cardinals bats. But we'll talk about that later on throughout the show. But outside of that, how have you been, Joe? And great job. I know you weren't on the full show because you had to leave, but last week's show on Ladies Night was incredible. What was your thoughts in regards to that episode?
It's crazy. I mean, it's not crazy because now it's 2025 and we see so many females out there doing incredible things in sports. But just the women that we're getting on this show have been mind blowing to me. It's like, man, what was I doing in high school and college? But no, it was awesome. It was cool to get to know her for the little time that I was on the show. But yeah, and I had so many notes. All right, let me show you.
Wow.
That was for my ladies' night, and then I couldn't even do it. So whatever. I could save some of my topic stuff for next ladies' night. But yeah, it's just cool seeing all the different type of women that we're getting on the show, and get their names out there. Not that she needs her name out there. My gosh, she got a book even and everything. So she's doing pretty good for herself.
Right. Shouts out to Miss Dub, our favorite fan, showing us love up in the Platform Sports Talk Show Club right now. So we appreciate you. And of course, you got to show love to Joe Bo. See, now y'all definitely official because she said Joe. She ain't have Bo.
I think she switches it up every week.
And up next, she is the host of Ladies Night. She is rocking her Ladies Night shirt. Just coming back from a wonderful, amazing conversation with Aisha Foy. It is the one, the only, Bunny.
And I'm not on mute. Look at me. It's because it's Wednesday, right? Hump day. Happy hump day. Hey, y'all. How's it going?
Pretty good. We're doing good. What's going on in your neck of the woods?
Hey, like you said, with this beautiful weather, you in shorts. We have people walking dogs, people out in the streets, people being so extra neighborly. You can tell spring is around the corner. And of course, spring is my favorite time of year. Why? I'm glad you asked. Of course, my name is Bunny. So Bunny, Easter/Resurrection Day is almost here. And of course, what our topic is going to be March Madness.
Yeah.
Tell you guys, let's get better than this.
Yeah, buddy. Looking forward to it. Man, so much that we have to discuss this evening. And, we don't want to hold the people back. Let's go ahead and get right to it. Once again, if you're watching for the first time, thank you very much. This show has been going down for almost 8 years. It'd be 8 years next month.
8 years.
8 years next month. So, and consistently, y'all.
8 years? What? Look at
not just every now and then, or not just, once a month. No, this is like consistently.
That's what's
Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much every Wednesday. Unless we have like a vacation or whatever by me. Then other than that, you know what I'm saying?
No, a vacation, I don't know, a whole wedding,
that's all. It's, just stuff like that. But yeah, we here. You know what I'm saying? We just want to provide something consistent every week. And someone who I may know, my wife is on here saying, "What's up, gang?" So shouts out to the wife.
Hey, Beyonce.
Yeah. So we in here. For those who's watching on Facebook, I think it's a StreamYard issue. So if you are not seeing your own picture on the screen, it's not me. It's just the StreamYard. So apologize, but I can definitely tell who you are. So I got you. But your photo may not show up tonight on the show. Everyone else, like on the X and on YouTube, Instagram. Well, Instagram, you can comment, but we can't see it. So you got to go on to Facebook or YouTube or the X, and then we can see it. But outside of that, let's get right into these topics here. And Bunny, let's start off with you in regards to, you now have my attention. What sports story or stories has your attention?
Well, not trying to jump ahead on our topics, but even though I mentioned March Madness is my favorite time of year, this is a big story to me, but small to you all because it's my alma mater where they're D2. And of course, they're not going to be in Sports Center and people talking about them. But shout out to Lincoln University men's basketball team. They have made it to the NCAA D2 tournament. First time, I think, since they said 1983. So shout out to the Lincoln University Blue Tiger men's. Woohoo! And it has my attention because, again, small HBCU, but the fact that they won the Great Lakes Valley Conference Championship. So they had to beat UMSL, Lindenwood. It's a few other schools around our area. Rolla, part of that conference, and they defeated them, and they're champions, and they're going to the dance. Again, it's only D2, but it's still important. So it has my attention.
Okay. Joe Bo, what about yourself?
I wrote down a couple this time. One, it's just silly, but the new MLB The Show comes out by Monday, and me and Brendan are really excited because we've been playing on the old one. This one is, it sucks just because like baseball is seeing so many injuries, so that's what is going on. It's not just pitchers either, like with Tommy John, but and it's not just nobodies. You got Garrett Cole, Gunnar Henderson, George Kirby, Giancarlo Stanton, Francisco Alvarez, Christian Walker, Grayson Rodriguez, and then Bobby Witt. He just came through that he's cleared. He didn't break his forearm, but he was hitting the forearm today and had to get X-rays. So,
oh wow,
what the hell's going on in that? With baseball, and again, it's not just pitchers and Tommy John and stuff. And then the Yankees, what are they going to do? Are they going to go out there and get like Kyle Gibson, who's a free agent, Lance Lynn, who's a free agent? You can go out there and trade for someone. Hopefully not Sandy, because I would hate that. But yeah, that's something right now. It's been very talked about all around the game. And then lastly is out of the top wildcard teams in the West, between Utah, Calgary, Vancouver, and the Blues have the easiest remaining schedule. I know we're going to talk about Blues later, so that's just like a tee up for it, but they have the easiest remaining schedule, and they've been on a decently long break now. I think the last time they played was Saturday, I want to say.
Sunday?
Okay, so I mean, that's a decent break for hockey players, so we will talk more about the Blues in a little bit, but it's just interesting. Brennan mentioned that, and so I guess we'll see what that has to do with the remainder of the year.
Rio, about yourself?
Man, first I'm gonna go with the Browns giving Myles Garrett all his money.
That was shocking because last week he demanded to leave Cleveland.
This man said, "I'm ready to go,"
and then all of a sudden you like, oh, for real? Being the highest paid non-quarterback in history, I'll take it.
Wouldn't y'all take it too? More money over Stan? Wouldn't y'all take it?
Yeah, Bunny. But my thing is this:
do you want to win a championship?
Yeah, why would you want to be in
Apparently money first over championship.
but see, my thing is this: you gave Deshaun Watson all his money to be your starting quarterback. That failed. Now you give Myles Garrett all this money. Does the Browns organization just hand out money, or are they trying to? I mean, are you trying to build something?
Right.
I see that Russell Wilson, he's like tomorrow or next week, he's due to like meet with the Browns, I think it was.
Tell them, don't do it. Run the other way. Run, Russ. Don't do it.
Bunny, I'm with you on that. I would not take that job. I wouldn't take that job. I wouldn't take that job at all.
But since Cleveland's giving away money, tell them to back that Brinks truck in my driveway. Okay. I don't have to have talent. I mean, Garrett is great. I ain't knocking him. Deshaun did have talent before he got there. But if I don't have that much talent, put the Brinks truck in my driveway.
I'll be one of those girls that goes by and sprays water and guys.
That's it, Joe Bo. We signed us up for our job right there. Just pay us and we good. We can have an empty stadium every Sunday because they suck, and we're fine with that. Just pay us to show up.
So I would have that mindset if I was like maybe my first couple of years in the league. because
Yes,
I'm
yes.
trying to get there.
Yes.
But he's getting to the point where he's at. Not saying he's like not in his prime no more, but it's not like he's getting any younger. So now it comes to a point where he's already made money. It's not like he hasn't gotten the money already.
He got the
so
money.
now he's at a stage where I thought that he would be prioritizing. Okay, you know what? I played with this team for X amount of years. Now I need to get a ring. I want to know what it feels like to be
in the
playoffs. To get past the wild card round and see where it is. So I understand where you're coming from, Bunny, in regards to the money wise, the Brinks truck. If I was still getting to my prime and wanted to be like, okay, maybe I can be the guy that can put the team over the hump. But now that I've been with this team and seen what's going on, yes, the money is going to be great, but you can still get money. Now it may not be as much as how much he gotten from the Browns because they just foolish. But
oh my God,
look how much of that is guaranteed. Look at that though, the guaranteed portion of it.
Right. But what I'm saying is that he's already made money.
He has.
Has he made that much guaranteed money though?
Yes.
Yes, he has.
Yes.
Let me go to Google.
It'd be different if he didn't. But he's already gotten guaranteed money, so he's already set for life. But now it's like, okay, do I really want a ring? And from what I'm showing, he doesn't really want a ring. He doesn't prioritize.
He did not
want the ring. He just prioritized he wanted to get paid.
Yes,
and who wants a ring? DeAndre Hopkins.
Exactly. Right. He's Hopkins over from one team to
the
another.
next. And he has his dream. He finally got his dream destination. As a matter of fact.
Yeah. In which I'm not sure that was smart for him because you can't trust the Ravens in the playoffs. But that's a whole nother subject for a different time.
Please do. Yeah, we'll hit that on another day. It's just they can trust them. They just haven't proven themselves. Ha.
Let me see. Shouts out to my cousin Scotty. What's going on? Happy birthday once again. He just celebrated a birthday. I think it was last week. So happy birthday to him. He's
happy birthday, Scotty.
Birthday, Scotty.
That's fam, and he's a supporter of the show. So leave comments, Scotty, and give us your viewpoint on everything as we discuss these shows. So did you have anything else?
The only other thing I had was can Luka keep it? Can Luka hold it down for the next 1 to 2 weeks, maybe 3, while LBJ's nursing that groin?
Yes.
Can he do it
quickly?
Yes, because it's Luka. People are forgetting that this man led the Mavericks to the freaking finals last year. He's already that dude.
He's coming off the injury too, so he hasn't experienced that much injury before.
And the more that he's playing, he's getting more familiar with his teammates. The whole night. For those who may not be aware, and I'm gonna say this right now. You ready? For those who may not be aware, I kind of feel like standing.
Oh, I want to hear this, then. I want to hear this. Okay.
The Lakers are Luka's team.
Okay.
As soon as that trade went down, that was official that the Lakers are his team.
I will agree. I will agree.
Yes, he is the future. LeBron maybe has 2-3 years left, but at the end of the day, the Lakers and everything that they do for the remaining of for the next 10 years is going to be for Luka.
I agree.
It is his team now. That's it.
We gonna see.
It's his team, but no, I have no concerns about him. I think sometimes it's good. Yes, you want to have LeBron on the team playing.
Yes, you do.
Because that's how they're going to win. But I want to see how this team can play without Bron. Because that's going to determine how great of a team you are when you don't have certain guys on your squad, and can you still win? That's like Joe. You're talking about the Dodgers. Remember, there was a stretch where Mookie Betts didn't play. So, okay, well, how can that team still win without Mookie Betts? They found a way. That's what great teams do.
Shohei, Freddie Freeman, Teoscar Hernandez,
Right.
Maxwell.
Got to be one of the most, to me, one of the most underrated players in baseball. I think.
Who? I didn't hear what you said.
Mookie Betts or Freddie Freeman. To me,
Freddie Freeman is because he's not talked about a lot.
He's one of the most underrated players in baseball, and they need to get this man his flowers for real.
Mm-hmm. Real quick, back on LeBron. Did he hurt his groin by that Oscar-worthy flop that happened? Is that how it happened? Is that how he hurt himself? Because that was awful.
He probably did. He probably did. Which, well, before I even get to that point, let me go ahead and get to mine because this might be a lengthy conversation.
Okay.
Which I'm looking forward to. One, Tiger Woods is done. He's been done.
He's been done for some years.
Tiger Woods, we appreciate what you've been trying to do, but he just reported a couple of days ago that he ruptured his Achilles.
He will never play golf like the way he has.
I mean, even before then, he wasn't playing like he used to. But now to add on, does this is like his 6th, 7th? Someone help me out if y'all know. Surgery on his knees in the last like 10 years.
Tiger ain't been right since he paid that money out.
Like, hey, find something else to do. Bottom line, you know what I'm saying? And it's sad to say because he was on a trajectory to shatter a lot of big golf records until things that he did on his own messed up what he did on the golf course. It's kind of like that karma.
He did his own career.
Yeah. And we're not saying it now, but even though he's already had so many records and he's the best, people will say the best to ever do it, but it's still that big question mark because it's the big what if.
And I will put a question mark by that. And I will say, what if?
It's the big what if, because if he didn't get into this, then how much more would he have taken control of golf?
Period.
You know what I'm saying? And the thing is that he's such a draw that he could be gone for 2-3 years, and as soon as he says, "Oh, I'll be at the Masters," it's going to be the most watched event because he still must see. Like there's no one who has had a huge effect on golf like Tiger Woods.
Correct.
But for him to do what he did outside of the golf course, and now what you're seeing, the decline of him, because he was like the most fit dude you saw on the course, hitting the ball the hardest, the farthest, everything. But now these injuries is making his decline that much more steeper because it's always something going on with him now because of his health.
Tiger Woods, y'all.
Yeah, and I mean, Bunny's so emotional, she just left the screens. But yeah, so Tiger Woods, thank you for what you've done in golf, but just say, hey, you know what? I gave it all I could. It's time to go ahead and move on to the next chapter of my life.
I mean, and we talked about this. I talked about this with some guys that I work with. Mm-hmm. Tiger's paraphernalia was right behind that Jumpman.
Right.
Paraphernalia.
Right there.
Was right there. So he was changing golf as a whole, like worldwide, not just in the US, but worldwide. Mm-hmm. He was becoming a global icon. Mm-hmm. And now, like you, Smooth, it's just time to just go ahead and just put it to bed. I mean, you can commentate. You can always do that, Tiger. You can stand on sit in the booth and commentate. Mm-hmm. I mean, who's to say you still won't pack the Masters if they know you're commentating? We shall see.
Joe, your thoughts on Tiger Woods?
And I was just thinking to myself, I think since I've been on the Platform Sports Talk Show, which we think is what, 5 years now at least? 6 years, 5, 6? I don't know. I feel like he's attempted a comeback multiple times, and something, holds him back a little bit. But yeah, I mean, how old is the dude? I don't know. I don't think you have to be, because I've seen some old dudes play golf before at a very high level. I don't think you have to be like in the best shape of your life to do it. But I mean, something keeps happening over and over again. So yeah, like Mario said, like try maybe just being a commentator or something. Just your presence there, people want to be around. So, but yeah, it's probably over.
Yeah, he's 49 years old, and I sense he's the kind of person that doesn't know how to sit still.
Oh no.
So commentating, I mean, I would suggest that too, but I just feel the kind of person that he is not in him to just to be like Tom Brady is right now.
No, now you talking two different people.
Yeah.
You're really talking two different people now.
Yeah.
I mean, even then, it took Brady come back out of retirement type thing, or like whatever happened, and now he's actually doing it. There's just some people that don't know when to quit, really.
Right. Once again, we need to get y'all viewpoint, comments, questions. Leave comments throughout the show. If you're on the X, you're on YouTube, you're on Facebook, you're on Twitch. Leave comments so we can show it on the screen. If you're watching on Instagram, thank you very much. But we can't see your comments unless you are on either YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, I said Twitter, but the X. And then we got y'all. So let me get to it. I wish she was on the screen, but she'll catch up when she get on. The biggest story in basketball has not been what has going on the court, but what happened on the sideline. And he brought him up, Joe Bo, and I want to discuss it because I've been conflicted in regards to wanting to bring this up now or save it for the man cave, because I know that y'all will have a great conversation, which we're going to still have the conversation on the man cave. But because a lot of y'all know that I am a huge fan of LeBron James, something went down at a Lakers game last week, and I'll just let y'all go ahead and see it for yourselves real quick. So as you saw, that was LeBron James talking to Stephen A. Smith, saying pretty much, leave my son's name out your mouth. The only thing that you didn't see was LeBron James' hand going back like this, and wow, like Will Smith did Chris Rock, which sparked a lot of debate about who was right, who was wrong. And I did some research before I wanted to bring up this topic, because I just kind of want to get a lot of different viewpoints before I bring mine. And like I said, I'm conflicted because y'all know I love LeBron James. I support everything that he pretty much does. But at the same token, I have to be realistic and hold people accountable no matter who you are as well.
You should.
And of course, the reason why this was going on is because Stephen A. Smith said in the past episode on First Take that he pretty much was telling Brian, like, how you're handling things with Bronny because of what you have said in the past. You're putting Bronny in a bad situation where, like, for instance, remember we had a conversation a while back about him getting playing time and not looking good, so he need to stay in the G League.
Yeah, we said that.
And then we had a conversation about, well, he's not traveling to road games.
We talked about that
in the G League, but now he is. You know what I'm saying? But at first he wasn't. So Stephen A. was like, "Hey, you're hurting your son by not letting him be his own man." And then, as you all saw, the confrontation that happened with Stephen A. and LeBron James. And yeah, so that's what's going on, Miss Dub. But for those who want more, I have some clips that I want y'all to check out. One is when Stephen A. Smith was recently on Gilbert Arenas' show. So check out this, and I do want to let you all know there will be some cussing. Enjoy.
What do you make of LeBron confronting you in the aftermath of that situation?
I thought it was weak. I thought it was some bullshit. But in the moment, I knew that I was listening to a father. Here's what happened. I'm sitting courtside, and I stand up, and then I got my head turned. And then I turned back around, and a lot of people thought this was the end of the game or something like that. This was in the third quarter. Apparently, LeBron had walked out of the timeout, and I turned around, and he's right here in my face. He said, yo, you got to stop talking shit about my son. You got to stop fucking with my son. That's my son. That's my son. And I was like, what? He said, nah, fuck that. I said, yo, let's talk later. He's like, fuck that. Nah, fuck that. You got to stop fucking with my son. Now, we can sit up here in front all we want to and act like we don't work for somebody. Damn it, I work for Walt Disney. And if I had gotten into some shit with him at courtside right there at that moment, no matter how right I would have been, it would have been wrong. And I was like, I'm not going to do this. But once I saw the tape of him talking to Richard Jefferson Saturday night in Boston, that was when I got really pissed because that was confirmation.
So, after seeing that video, what are your thoughts in regards to who you feel was wrong in your eyes, Rio?
You can look at this two different ways. You can look at it from a parent aspect, and you can look at this from a player aspect. I'm going to look at it from both sides of the spectrum, more so from the parent aspect of it. Yes, I am Bronny James' father. Yes, I am LeBron James. I cannot really dictate what my son does with his career. I can help him. I can guide him. That's all I can do. But the choices and the decisions that he make on his own.
Right.
Now, Stephen A., everybody know how Stephen A. is. Stephen A. gonna try to bring the best and the worst out you if he can do it. In this instance, do I think he was wrong? Yes, I do. Some personal things just need to be left alone. And to me, that should have just been left alone. It should have never been talked about. It should have never been brought up. And I know Stephen A. likes to make sure he's the center of attention because that's what he likes. If you ever really paid attention to Stephen A. Smith, he likes to be the center of attention in anything that goes on. But in this situation, I think he should have just stayed in his own lane and just left it alone.
Okay. Bunny, you're back. Your thoughts on this?
So you said, Mario, Stephen A. like to be center of attention, but that's his job. I mean, Stephen A. wouldn't have built up to have the following and viewers on his show if he wasn't who he is. Now, give him credit. People say, oh, I don't like him. He can't stand him. That's fine. But people that don't like him still watch him. So he's doing his job. Now, regarding being altercation, or I won't say altercation. Well, how would y'all call it? The disagreement, the heated.
It was a confrontation.
That's what it was, a confrontation.
Okay. Regarding the confrontation between LeBron and Stephen A., I saw the clip and I read his side. Of course, I didn't hear LeBron's side. It doesn't matter. My 2 cents. So if you take this away from basketball and you have a parent who, let's choose a high powerful person, let's say a CEO or president of a small company, big company, doesn't matter. They have their son they're grooming to be the next CEO. And people are like, wait a minute, this son really got, the education to be CEO, let alone ready to take over, yet he didn't have to do all the grind of learning other parts of the company, then do all that, and yet he gets the keys to it. Not the same, but I'm trying to use the analogy of people are always going to talk about somebody's father or mother, whomever, that's powerful, to say, hey, they looked out for their kid to get that position rather than them earning their way to get it. I don't have a problem with it, what LeBron did, because a lot of other NBA athletes or take it to the MLB hockey would have done the same thing. But at that part, that's what LeBron can control. His son's talent and lack of busted numbers and being ahead of other players instead of him earning his way to get some PT. Now that's on the son. So the father cannot get upset because it's reality that it is what it is. Now for Stephen A calling him out prior to, LeBron out prior, and LeBron also confronts him about it. Bruh, you in the spotlight. Your son's in it. You wanted this for him. Great. He wants to be there. That doesn't mean you get hands off on criticism. Let's just say if Adam Silver was one of those commissioners who talked about players on a regular, would you be mad if Adam Silver caught out your son not being all that, but he's here in the league? It's like you're going to defend your child. That is what a parent does. At the same time, right is right, is wrong is wrong. You can defend your child and still say, yeah, he should be playing better. He needs to do what he needs to do. But for a sportscaster to call out your son more than one occasion, and then you get upset on the sideline when he sees him and he's talking some more stuff, it's like, y'all could have said that for the tunnel. Y'all could have said that for outside in the media room, something. It shouldn't have to take it right there on the court, though. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm thinking. Stephen A gave his side like, yeah, he was a parent. LeBron was talking to him like that. They got upset, not from a player. But that's BS to me. Parent or not, you don't never turn your parent hat on and off. But at the same time, when you at work, we got to separate it. That's like how many coaches who have had sons that play for them. They're not saying, hey, good coaches. If their son's playing for them, they get special treatments. In general, they still got to be held accountable like they do other players. So I don't see LeBron getting all upset about it and trying to take it out on Stephen A. It's like you put your energy to the wrong person. That's my 2 cents.
Joe Bo.
That's my point, though.
Well, kind of like what Miss Dove just said there, but we talked about this preseason, I think, about what was or what might happen with Bronny and this and that. You're LeBron James' son. You're in the league. You're on the same team as him. You're gonna it's gonna get talked about whether you're playing good or bad. And it's like, obviously, if this was just some regular person on the street, no one cares about this. But it's LeBron James. But LeBron, I mean, I get the whole parent aspect of getting upset. If someone talks shit on me, I'm be upset. But Mia is not. She's not in the league somewhere making good money. This, you know what I'm saying? Or I'm not Jenny Finch and she's my, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't think LeBron has the right to do what he did because you play for LA, bro. Your son plays for LA. There's the spotlight on you. It's gonna happen. That's literally, you signed up for it. And I didn't even know that it was literally during the game in the third quarter. So I don't like Stephen A. He makes me laugh a lot. He's goofy. He's an asshole. I feel like every time I see a clip on X, I'm laughing, but I'm like, what a tool this guy is. But he's funny, it's whatever. But I don't think Stephen A's in the wrong with this because he's doing his job. He's talking. He's getting people to follow him and listen to him and comment and this and that. I just think LeBron looks like a baby, honestly, because you're in the league, your son's in the league. You're going to get talked about, whether you're good or bad.
That's all I got to say about that, Smooth.
This is D Wade and his son. We'd be just saying the same thing. You know how D Wade's son was trying to get into, he was in college, wasn't getting, the talent wasn't equating to what D Wade talent is. But if it was that, like we know Tim Hardaway's son in the league, still in there. If he was a high profile Tim Hardaway on the level of LeBron and his son, how his stats are now, we would be doing the same. It's like, all because your son don't make his hands off. That's all I understand. Take the parent head off, play the player, coach the. It is what it is. This ain't nothing new. He's been in the league too long to know better.
So, Miss Dove says, did Luke Walton face some of the same comments, or was it different because his father wasn't playing anymore?
No.
Luke Walton earned
all his
position because
Yes, he
he
did.
was a assistant head coach in
Yes.
Golden State.
Yes.
And he took over for a period of time when who was the head coach at the time? Was it
Mark Jackson.
Was it Mark Jackson?
Yeah.
No, I thought you were talking about Luke Walton being a player.
Luke Walton earned his spot on the floor.
Okay, yeah. So
He was decent, but he wasn't on the level of. I mean, okay, he was decent, and then he did play for Lakers. Why his dad? So, yeah. I mean, okay.
Luke Walton has a ring.
Yeah.
With Kobe.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
Yeah. So even as a player, he didn't earn it. I mean, I'm sorry, he earned it.
He earned it
because of his time in Arizona.
Yes.
He was he wasn't like the guy.
He was the guy in Arizona.
But you know what I'm saying? He was a major factor and he got drafted. So no, he didn't face anything because no one has faced the scrutiny
as
that Bronny James is facing, because there has been no one in the NBA that's going through what Bronny James is going through.
And I just spoke on it and you heard me whispering it. Scottie Pippen Jr. plays for the Memphis Grizzlies.
Right.
When Ja Morant went down, they inserted Scottie Pippen Jr. and he was productive. He was very productive. And has been no talk about Scottie Pippen Jr. playing in this league, period. I just think that, I'm sorry to cut you off, I just think, in my opinion, and we talked about it when we had it on the Man Cave, and I don't know if I said it, but I just think that it just was not his time to leave just yet. He should have stayed maybe one more year, and I think it would have been better for him. That's just my opinion on that.
Oh, yeah. I know that people said that about Bronny needed one more year because his first year at USC wasn't all that. No. But we know the reason that LeBron wanted him on there because the historical side, and then to get him on lock to make sure he can help.
He still would have
groom him and do what a father would do with a son. I get it, but we know going in he wasn't going to miraculously flip the switch and become not even an all-star. I'm just saying flip the switch to become like, when you're on the floor, you're making a difference. The plus minus is plus when you're on the floor.
Yes.
It ain't like that for him right now. And that's what I'm saying. It's like to be an impactful player. He could be 5-point a game dude, but let's say lockdown defense. I'd take that, being impactful. But his first year, he needs some more molding. He's not the man type.
Yeah.
No, he's not.
And then the next year in college, still won't get him there, but to get him closer. But, he didn't do it that way. He did it his way, which is his prerogative. But you gotta know, it go with the criticism. Look, I know this. I'm like, how does he even become this big because of Stephen A? But I'm like, this shouldn't even be an issue we're talking about, because we've been talking about it from when he got drafted, from when, hey, don't draft my son. I'm calling some GM. Don't draft Bronny. Don't draft LeBron's son. This has been talked about before he even got drafted. So the criticism was there. So he knew this was coming. So that's why I said he put his energy to Stephen A. This is the wrong place to put it. It's his job to criticize whomever. So why you get mad at Stephen A, especially taking courtside? Like, dude, neither one of y'all care about this anymore. We still talking about it, but they're beyond this because they got other stuff to do. Stephen A just signed that $20 million deal. On to the next topic and next person. You know what I'm saying? LeBron, get ready for the playoffs.
Right, because if it was Kobe Bryant's son, that if he had a son and was playing and was in the same position, Stephen A or whoever would be saying the same exact thing to that player as well. So it's not just LeBron; it would have been to any player who's in that position that has a son that people are saying nepotism and the whole nine. He would have the same critique. So it's not like he's targeting LeBron on purpose, but he's talking about the actual situation. But before I continue on, I want to play another clip. This is from Ryan Clark. He had some thoughts about Bronny early in the year, especially about the whole playing on the road thing. And he has some thoughts about Stephen A. Smith. This is on his podcast.
I do understand the father part, though. Right? Because I got 3 babies. Like, I'll kill for mine. More importantly, I'll die for them. And so I understand wanting to protect them. And Stephen A. said that wasn't LeBron James, the athlete. that was LeBron James, the father. But what I say there is you got to separate that, right? One of Pop's famous lines on Friday was, "No, baby, let him be a man." Bron got to let Bronny be a man. The first thing Jordan told me when he saw that, because we were together, he said, "Pop, I'd lose my shit." He said, if I did that, if someone was talking about him and I did what LeBron James did, he would lose it. He said, you got to let me be a man. Bronny James, for a 55th overall pick, for a guy who's played well in the G League and been on the bench and got, some minutes in the NBA, he is more negatively critiqued and analyzed than any player who would be picked in that position that does the job the way that he does it. But he's also praised more. He's also been drafted in a place that his resume probably didn't say he should have been drafted in. He's also benefited in NIL when he only averaged 4 points a game. He has marketing and commercials and publicity and followings and get paid away from the court more than Mac McClung, who then led the G League in scoring and won the dunk contest 3 times because you're LeBron James's son. So what does it do to that narrative now? Right? How does LeBron running up on Stephen A help the narrative? It doesn't. Now imagine if LeVar Ball runs up on Stephen A. Imagine if T. Morant runs up on Stephen A. How classless we would say they are. How immature we would say they are. LeBron James is a father doing the same thing for a professional basketball player. And I get it. I 100% get it, man. Sometimes somebody does something and it's on site. Stephen A say, why you didn't call me? Mav got my number, right? He say, Rich got my number. Because LeBron James saw him and LeBron James wanted to make that point. He wanted to show the world. He wanted to show Stephen A. And he probably wanted to show Bronny, bro, I got you. And I'll do it publicly so everybody sees it. The problem is this. You ain't run up on Skip all them years he was talking about you. You ain't run up on everybody else all that time he was talking about you. And if you're going to run up on everybody that says Bronny James didn't deserve to be drafted where he was drafted at, you're going to have to do a whole lot of damn fighting. LeBron James, more than any athlete I've ever seen, has shown a poise and composure when people are talking about him negatively like I've never seen. He's truly been an example to every athlete in the world who's harshly critiqued, to his son. But now what you've told your son is, even though I wasn't above reproach, even though no athlete that's ever played the game was above criticism, you are. And I showed you that by checking somebody because I felt like they talked about you. And that's, to me, where you got to separate father and you got to separate teammate. Because now, if I'm Bronny James, I know my dad loves me, right? But I hope, because LeBron James is a great dad, that he asks Bronny, are you okay with this? Because this is going to reflect on you more than it's going to reflect on me.
That is that.
So, with that being said, my thoughts, because like I said, I've been conflicted in regards to how I want to approach this. But I will say, and Bunny, I agree with you in regards to the manner of how LeBron James handled it. I feel that shouldn't have been done during the game.
And that's
And you said, I think also what
you
were saying behind Bunny.
Yeah.
That should have been done behind closed doors.
Yes.
LeBron James and his team could have easily been like, hey, Stephen A, let's have a talk. Because Stephen A even said, hey, let me know when we can meet up. I'll fly to you, the whole 9, and it could have been done. Like I said, I'm a huge LeBron James fan. I rarely go against anything that he does, whatever it is. But I feel like there's how he handled the situation, to me, wasn't the best way to handle it.
No.
One, because when Bronny was in college last year, you, LeBron James, and Stephen A. Smith said this, and plenty of other people said this, but you were the one saying, oh, Bronny is better than half of the players in the NBA. And this is why he was in college. But then it's the hypocrisy or the contradiction, because you're so easy to brag about your son and put your son out here on his pedestal. And then if he's not meeting certain standards because of what you set, now you're mad at people for calling him out or calling you out. So LeBron has done a few things that may have rubbed people the wrong way. The decision probably being number one because of how that was handled.
We're not gonna talk about that.
Another one would be him not participating in dunk competitions because he and I'm sure he probably heard it many times now, but we have to say it, and I have to say it too, is that people look at what others do.
They do. They do. They do.
And with you being the face of the league for 20 some years now, they're looking at everything that you do.
Yes, they are.
And with you saying, no, I ain't going to participate, then why in the hell should Ja Morant, should Justin Tatum, should Zion Williamson, should this guy, should that guy want to be in the competition? Because they like, well, the best player in our generation didn't do it.
That's correct.
So why should I? Then even in Sadar brought this up on the Man Cave, where an hour before the All-Star game, you decide I ain't gonna play.
Yeah, that was kind of foul.
You're holding back another well-deserving player that would have loved to have his first opportunity to be in the NBA All-Star game.
It's a bonus.
And LeBron James, you knew that you had an issue going on. And because you've been in the league for so many years, we understand, hey, you ain't got to play. It's cool. But you made it about yourself because you wanted to prove that you're bigger than the game.
Yes, he did.
And that's the only issue I have, with him, is that as great everything that you've done on the court probably would not be repeated.
No.
Or it'll take another 50 years for it to happen.
It's gonna take another 50.
But there are just certain things that you do behind the scenes that make you feel like, oh, I can do or say what I want. But then when people catch up to what you're doing and you call it out, then you want to act this way. So, like I said, I am a fan of Stephen A. I don't agree with everything he says.
Oh, I'm a fan.
I don't get tired of him. Like Joe says. But hey,
I still said he makes me laugh, and I hear something every morning that doesn't mean I'm like a huge fan of him. I just think he's a fool.
Right. But yeah, I would just say that yes, Stephen A was doing his job, and if you're out here promoting your son as if he's better than half of the players in the league, then you can't be mad if you got someone saying, well, your son is not playing in G League games, and I'm pretty sure you're the reason why, because you're not letting your son, like Ryan Clark said, be his own man. And as Bunny said earlier, once you sign that, and I said this also, in for the almost 8 years of the Platform Sports Talk Show, no matter what sport it is, as soon as you sign a professional contract, no matter how old you are, you a man.
Yes.
And you got to deal with all the consequences that comes with it. It doesn't matter if your mama on the team, if your father, if your sister, if your boo thing, if your wife, it does not, if your husband, it doesn't matter. Once you sign a professional contract, you are out there you're basically a fish in the ocean around sharks.
Your daddy did it.
You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. And yes, there is a fine line between being a father and a parent, but you're the same person, Brian, that you told your son, don't call me dad on the court.
No, don't call him. Yep, he sure did.
So if you're saying don't call you dad on the court, then you have to not treat him like dad when it comes to
correct
being criticized or being put on social media.
You treat him like a teammate. That's exactly how you're going to treat him.
That's the contradiction I'm talking about.
You're going to have to treat him like a teammate.
So like I said, LeBron James has done amazing things that maybe no one else would be able to say I've done too. But we also have to hold people accountable. It doesn't matter who you are. And I'm very big on holding people accountable. So that's just how I feel in regards to that situation. Bunny, I'll give you the floor if you had a rebuttal or anything you want to add on to that.
Nothing to rebuttal because I am in agreement with you all. I am. It is. That's why I said Stephen A's moved on. LeBron has moved on. I mean, LeBron still got it in his mind like he still want to whoop up on Stephen A if you see him outside the arena. But it's the next topic. Get ready for playoffs.
I mean,
listen, LeBron from Akron, so I don't know how they talk, but from St. Louis, you know how we get down. On tight, son.
dealt with the same thing when he came to the league, though.
Yeah.
LeBron had to deal with the criticism as soon as he got into the league. And what to me, your son is not you.
Mm-hmm. Not even close.
Not even close. He is not built like you at all.
Mm-mm.
He does not have the skill set like you do. Maybe he do as the years progress, but he is not you. You know, and Ryan Clark said it the best, and I said it in the beginning. You got to separate, like I just said, father, parent, and teammate.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, your son is your teammate. You got to look at him as your teammate.
Now after the game is over and y'all left the arena.
Yeah, now
okay, here we go. Back to father. Hey, do your chore. But
yeah, but like he literally in the third quarter. Like, come on, dude.
I'm with you when you're right.
Yeah.
But he knows that he signed him up to be his teammate. He did all the not him personally, but he got the Lakers organization telling all these GMs, don't y'all think about signing Bronny. Half the GMs was laughing. They probably like, well, we were gonna do it no way. Because what Ryan Clark said, that resume you have ain't worth drafting you.
It's not.
I mean, that's reality. You know, sometimes you need to be criticized or need to be talked about badly for you to, for people, athletes and non-athletes, to realize, all right, I need to shape up and get my stuff together. You've heard plenty of stories from athletes specifically who was like, yeah, I wasn't doing what I needed to do. I wasn't in the gym enough. I wasn't on the rink enough, whatever. The sacrifice to get where I need to be, where I am now. Just be real. I mean, if you don't want to sit down with Bronny, he probably got his own trainer as well. But I'm not saying he's not trying, but we're looking at the results of it. So you deserve to be criticized, just like I deserve to be criticized if I don't do something well on my job or whoever. It's part of life. But that parent and coach and teammate that he can't separate, I think he could sometimes, but maybe it's something else stemming from this, y'all, because I just don't see, as you said, Smooth. LeBron has been nothing but great for PR. He does not have anything bad or negative on his resume on and off the court. Now we get this one incident at the end of his career, and it's not about him, it's his son. Like, okay, how much you gonna protect your son if you want him to be a flourish basketball player? You gotta take the criticism. Mentally, you gotta be accepting of people gonna talk about me, but I gotta grow and do my game better. So why would you still be so upset about that? On the clock too, you know, it's like y'all could have done this outside and still would have been stupid. But
right. Joe, any lasting thoughts?
No, not really. I wasn't expecting it. I forgot all about that video until you brought it up, and it was only a couple days old. But yeah, I mean, I didn't think I was gonna get as passionate about a LeBron topic because I don't really care. You know, sorry to say that. I know you like worship the guy, but
I ain't gonna say all that.
You made me laugh because you're like you named like 5 things that just recently happened, and you're like, but he's perfect and this and that and that. He's done everything perfect. This is the only thing. After you named like 5 things about it.
No, not worship. No, Joe, we can't be doing that. Doing that.
No, I don't know. I don't care for LeBron. He's absolutely. I got a question. I got a basketball question, or maybe it's actually a sports question. Because LeBron, he just reached, what was it, 50,000 or what was it?
50,000. Yes, 50,000.
Okay. And maybe it's only because hockey's the same. That's normal, regular season and playoffs combined. Why don't every sport do that? Baseball and hockey, you got, they separate the two. basketball, it's 50,000 points altogether. If that's the case, then like Wayne
That's
Gretzky,
your personal resume. So you trying to tell me for your baseball stats when you're in the playoffs, home run, singles, doubles, you don't get credit for your combined for playoffs and on your personal stats?
No, and I don't think hockey's the same either. It's like imagine like what Wayne Gretzky would be.
So Bunny, I'm sorry, Joe. Correction. The 50,000 points that is strictly regular
That's
season.
regular season. That is not 50,000.
I saw on because I saw on Twitter or whatever it said that was both both playoffs and regular season.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can't believe everything you see on Twitter or X though.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I mean, because if that was the case, I would agree with you that it should be strictly be regular season. It
That was
shouldn't
the
be
case.
combined.
Oh my God!
Right? Because like you say, if that was the case, Michael Jordan would have had
over 100,000.
Yeah, he would have been eclipsed the scoring record.
But his all-time career points, no matter who the player is, they get credit for on a personal resume. All those points are combined on their personal resume, right? Or they always got to separate.
I gotta check into this.
We gotta check into that because
like I said,
if that's the case,
Jordan.
Like I know on TV when they're saying the highlights of what these players have done, they'll say this is regular season games, or they'll say this is postseason. They'll say all time, and all time means all.
So like even when LeBron James a couple years ago broke the all-time scoring record, that was regular season.
That was regular season.
That wasn't postseason and whatever. No, that was strictly regular season.
Yeah.
So that's why.
But I'm saying, but on your personal resume, you get credit for your post and the regular season stats, right?
So on your resume, which I'm gonna say on the back of your card, like a Topps card.
Yeah.
They're gonna separate it and say regular season, and then they're gonna say postseason. So it won't just say all together. It's gonna break down how much you had regular season and how much you had career postseason. Because if that's the case, like I said before, they will have to combine the points per game that Jordan had in the regular season,
yes,
compared to the postseason, and his numbers would have been, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? So I believe when they go through career stats, that's strictly during regular season, not including postseason.
So when do you get to say your career stats to talk about your postseason? You can only separate it. You say, hey, career stats, 15 seasons. This is all the points they scored. And then they don't separate out of the
they do.
Other points, 30,000 regular season, 20,000 postseason. They just always separate. Never.
It's like LeBron James would have he would have 8 MVPs if they combine regular season and postseason. But they only count 4 MVPs in his career because they don't count finals MVP in regards to his career accomplishments. They just say 4 MVP because he won that during the regular season. That's the exact same way it is for basketball in the regular season.
Yeah.
Okay. So Joe, you are correct. We just found out. So it is in regards to that stat. It is in regards to regular season and postseason.
So what's Jordan sitting at then?
Yo, I'm about to go look.
All right.
I'm about to go look for a receipt.
I'm about to go look.
I was trying to look myself, but I was struggling.
Okay, on site statistician, love it, Rio. Okay, Miss Dub, what she say?
She put a link in there and everything.
Okay, Miss Dub. All right.
So it's like I was saying, like Gretzky. So when Ovi passes him in the scoring title record, which is going to happen this year because he's 9 away, I think, which is just crazy to think about.
Right. Because remember last show I asked you about that. I said, do you think that he'll get the record? And you was like, well, because he was hurt, and for a little period of time, I don't know. But like this dude said, no, I'm about to defy all the odds.
I mean, playoffs usually start April, I think. So I mean, it can happen, is what I'm saying. But I think what's absolutely mind blowing to think about is
8,000.
so when he passes Gretzky for
The longevity.
in
the longevity.
Wayne Gretzky will even points wise, will still have over 1,000 more points than anyone else ever in the league. And that's even with Ovi passing him in goals. So I don't know. It's just crazy to think about. And so I don't think hockey. I think hockey combines the two, just like basketball.
Got you. Okay, yeah. So I guess it is just hey, we learn every day.
Yeah.
Sports that combine this and that, and cause like for instance, like okay, well,
I still take the
let's
retirement.
combine Barry Bonds regular season and postseason. Then he would have, you know what I'm saying? He would have more home runs than what he has now.
That he has now, yes.
But because it's a different sport, they're not combining, all the numbers. So
yeah, it's just weird. Every sport's different and whatnot, but
right.
I mean, but like you said, though, Smooth, the longevity of LeBron playing is how he's, as I call him, the statistician, because that's what I call him. I call him the statistician. That's what I call LeBron. Yeah, because he can fill up stats. He can fill it. He can fill
it. And since Joe says I worship him,
he can fill up a stat sheet. I would not knock anything LeBron can do because he can fill up a stat sheet.
Yeah.
Now to do 50,000 combined, you played 20 years. Okay. All right. I showed you the stat. Mike did 38,000 combined.
There we go, Joe. Jordan had 38,000.
38,000 something. Now you take off, what was that? How many years was that he retired? He retired 2 years. He was already averaging 30 as it was in the league. I think it would have been more than 50,000 points.
And what's so crazy is that,
and he was averaging 30 in the playoffs too,
is that at age 40, LeBron is still one of the top 5 players in the game.
Yes,
he's playing at a high level still. That's what I look at that age, high level. That is not normal. And look at all the mileage he has.
Well,
he was 18, y'all. Look at this. This dude is.
If you
whatever he's taking for supplements and whatever little regimen he had, boy, listen, that needs to be sold right away. Like, that's crazy.
Now, folks, I did tell you that this conversation might be lengthy. I felt it, but I had to go ahead and bring out this conversation because they know that's what this show's all about, man. We want to bring out the big topic that's going on and give our viewpoints. Miss Dub says that despite the fact that he started earlier. Yeah, I mean he came in the league when he was 18? So Lord, 18 to being 40 now. God.
And he was averaging 20-some points a game at 18.
So, Jobo, I'm about to let you cook. Because right now we're talking about the Blues. And let's go ahead and talk about the standings real quick. Right now, I am showing the East. So, as you see on the screen, we have the Capitals at the top of the East. And number 2, you have the defending champions, Florida Panthers. Then you got the Hurricanes, 1 point behind them. 1 point behind the Hurricanes at the 4th spot. You have the Maple Leafs. And I'm sorry, Joe, can you remind me who's the coach of the Maple Leafs?
Craig Berube.
Okay. And then number 5, you have the Tampa Bay Lightning. And number 6, the Devils. 7, the Senators. And 8, the Colorado Blue.
Columbus Blue.
I'm sorry, Colorado lower. Columbus, it's that drink. Columbus Blue Jackets.
And starting, Jobo, the slur speech. Here he comes.
I was gonna say he said it, not me.
Right.
My thing is, y'all didn't say anything. It had to be Rio. Hey. But anyway,
we don't let you be great. We letting you be great.
Gotcha.
Don't let me fall. All right, so now
you gotta pick me up. Don't worry.
In the West, Winnipeg. Who saw this coming? Joe, did you see Winnipeg being the best team in the West right now?
No, but they have They had a pretty good team last year as well. They're always kind of in there, but out of the next 3 or 4, I didn't see them better than them. But it's Hellebuck. He's just a really good goalie, really.
Wasn't he the goalie for USA?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Then Dallas Stars number 2, number 3, the Vegas Golden Knights, number
Mhm,
4,
mhm, mhm.
Colorado Avalanche,
mhm.
5, Edmonton, 6, Minnesota, 7, Kings, 8, Colorado Flames, number 9, Vancouver.
Colorado
You
Flames.
just say Colorado Flames.
Here we go again. Where's my buzzer?
Hey, y'all got
Like,
me.
I feel like we're trying to do one of our promos for the show.
Man, why?
See, I'm taking a straight bullet on that one, Jobo.
You gotta come with the C's tonight. That's all it is.
I am having a bunny moment.
Shots fired. Here I am taking strays on it, but okay.
Number 9, Vancouver Canucks, and then right behind with the same points, the Blues. So the trade deadline, Joe, was last week, and the Blues said, you know what? We're good. We ain't gonna make no moves. And I think it was because of the injury that happened with Coach Parayko. Should I call him Colorado Parayko? But anyway, the Blues said, you know what? We're good. We in a good point right now. The best thing that happened to them was the Four Nations tournament. They had the break. Benetton showed out, won the championship, and ever since then, it's like they finally clicked. What are you seeing from this Blues team that has them now right there in the thick of the playoff race?
It's weird because they have the same team. It's the same exact team, you know? I guess, you know, like you said, that break, that helped them. And, you know, now they're just playing loose and they look good. Like, I want to say the Ducks game. There was a lot of West Coast games we just had, but there was like 2 minutes in the first period of the Ducks game that I was like, here we go. They're going back to normal because they started playing a little choppy and sloppy again. But honestly, like the last week or so, they've looked like a completely different team. I don't know what Montgomery said to them, but they just came together. And I think that's part of the reason why they didn't trade anyone after the Parayko injury. I thought for sure that with the Parayko injury, maybe they'll try to move Shen or someone. But it's kind of like what Army said, though. I mean, like the team's playing good. Let's just let them keep playing good together, you know? And I feel like if you would have traded some of these guys now, even after the Parayko, when, you know, they're already down and sad about that, that would have probably just destroyed the team. You know, so I don't know. They do look like a completely different team, though. Benner he's been Four Nations, Stanley Cup playoffs Benner the last week or so, and Hofer's looked pretty good as well, with the exception of one game. So, but yeah, and I'm surprised the defense. I think only 1 or 2 games since Parayko's injury, but defense has held up pretty good so far as well.
Do you feel that this can be a team that if they get in the playoffs, they can shock some people and advance?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, you've seen those teams that are in the West right there. Those are some good hockey teams. But those are some of the teams that we've beaten the last 2-3 weeks. Like, we've been beating really good hockey teams lately. We beat the Keens. They're good 2 out of 3 times. We took them to overtime the 3rd time. So I think we could surprise people and get past the first round. After that, I'm not exactly sure. But I don't see it being like, oh, we're going to go on some deep, crazy run and, you know, be in the conference final or the finals. But I can see us winning a round. I mean, there's some guys that are like Bolduc. He's been amazing lately. You know, Torpchenko finally scored for the first time in like 50 games, and like I said, Benner and everyone knows it. And I'm not the biggest Benner fan, but when he is in the playoffs, he's a completely different guy. Like goalie, you know, like everything is just completely different. And I think all of Canada and all of America seeing what he's capable of doing, because all of Canada was crushing the dude the first couple of games in the Four Nations, and then at the end of it, they were like, "Oh my gosh, this guy's our savior," and like he's the best goalie ever. So if you got a good goalie and you have some guys, I think Booch David's starting to slowly get it going again. Get Robert Thomas and all them. Anything can happen. It's hockey. Playoffs is one of the longer playoffs and stressful, but I think they could get through at least one round.
And I think it's refreshing. Now, unfortunately, he got injured and he could be out for the rest of the season. But Coach Barreto is finally getting that respect. Like, okay, he finally got it, And then you're not hearing no more complaints about Jordan Kyrou. I haven't heard any complaints about him, and God knows how long. So definitely has to be kudos to Jim Montgomery. It's just very important to have certain coaches that can bring out
the best
in people.
Players,
And like I said before, that Four Nations tournament, it allowed him to, because you really have time when you are a new coach to implement a system in just a matter of days. Because you playing one day, then you off the next day, and then you play again. But to have those days off and to have the team come together and this is what I need. From you. Yeah. And like I was hearing from some of the Blues analysts, whatever, that you had guys like Robert Thomas and I think it was Toropchenko or someone. I forgot who's on the line right now. But like they will meet up after practice and go over certain things. You know what I'm saying? Because you being on different lines,
that's how you build it.
It's important to know the best and the worst of who you're playing with, so y'all know how to bring the best out of each other. So just having that tournament, I think, just spoke volumes in regards to, okay, you know what? I know what you need. Sorry, Joe, LeBron, he knows how to make a certain pass to a certain guy.
Yeah.
He knows that Kyrie needs to have the ball at this spot. He knows that Austin Reeves need to have the ball here. He knows that at the time AD needs to have the ball at this position. He knows that Luka needs to bring the ball up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it takes to have, the guys to know what's best for the other guy to be better. Yeah. So it was a blessing in disguise to be able to have that time off so the players could actually know, which, I mean, some guys been on the team long enough that you thought they would have already known, Joe. But obviously, I guess something that Jim Montgomery said behind closed doors or whatever.
There's been a lot of turnover, I feel like, the last couple of years. So I think it was last year, and I was like watching a game, and I'm like, who is this? Who is number 17? Who's that? It's been a while since that had to happen, while watching a St. Louis sports game. Yeah. Not just the Blues, but just in general. And but now, I mean, I think it's a decent roster right now. Obviously, there's more to do, and I think some of the guys right now that we've mentioned, like with the Shen, he may or may not be here next year. There's some guys who are going to turn over because this team does need upgrades, but right now they're just playing good. They're vibing with each other, and just don't mess it up right now. Just see what happens. You got a couple of weeks left before the playoffs, and like I said on my you got my attention, is they have the easiest schedule moving forward out of the combined 4 wildcard teams that are remaining. So anything can happen.
All right. Well, let's get into some Cardinals baseball talk, spring training. We have about a good, week and a half left before opening day. And this is the time of the spring training where you are expecting to see players start to get into, okay, you know what? It's almost the real deal. Let me get right. And I can't speak on all other teams in Major League Baseball, but for those who are watching the show, whoever your team is, please leave comments. Let us know what your thoughts about your team. But in regards to the Cardinals, there's been a few bright spots. I would say Victor Scott has been a very big bright spot in which this is what I said, Joe, to Kyle Reese, was that I wanted to see in spring training who's going to step up and say, you know what, I learned from my past and I don't want to go to where I was before. I want to be better. Victor Scott so far. Now, once again, we know it's spring training. I got to, put that out there. But he has shown so far that he's getting it. It's that progression. Nolan Gorman had a slow start, but it looks like he's finally getting what Brent Brown, the new hitting coach, is teaching, and he's starting to make good. We know Jordan Walker has an injury, but he should be playing very soon. I haven't heard, Joe, and let me know if you have, in regards to the arm of Ivan Herrera. I haven't heard if there's been a vast improvement or not, but I know that his bat is there. But overall, the offense as a whole hasn't shown a whole lot over the last few games. I think they were shut out today. Only had maybe one run, if that, last game. So they haven't really been hitting a whole lot recently. Joe, I'll ask you first. Do you feel any cause for concern in regards to the lack of offense with it being spring training?
Not just yet. If we're like next Thursday would be a week from opening day, and we're not seeing like consistent what would probably be opening day lineups and at least good at bats. Like before, I think it was the game before Walker got hurt. He went 0-4, but he was smoking the ball 100 miles per hour over and line drives all over the place. So if I see stuff like that, then I'm like, okay, they're gonna be okay. If they're just striking out and rolling over on pitches constantly a week before before opening day, and it's what's most likely going to be your opening day lineup, then I'll start to get a little bit concerned. But I know you leaned over and said, it is spring training. You do have to say that because Trace Thompson's leading the majors in homers right now. Trace Thompson's a journeyman in Major League Baseball. He's not going to lead the league in homers, during the regular season. So you got to take it with a grain of salt with what the actual final results are. Again, it's more so looking for are they making good contact? Are they taking good at bats? Stuff like that. So if we're seeing crappy at bats still next Thursday, then I'd be like, okay, yeah, I'm a little concerned.
Bunny, you have any thoughts about spring training thus far, or are you just pretty much waiting to see in regards to opening day and the regular season?
It's really nothing to see. Keep the expectations low. That's why from spring training to the regular season, we're talking about offense and they're struggling. I don't say it's a cause for concern because I just don't see this lineup producing a lot offensively. Defensively, we're okay, but offensively, no. Let's say Jordan Walker comes back and be the awesome all-star that he's been hyped up since he, was in AAA. That'd be great, but that can't carry a whole team. So offensively, I see more problems coming, but I wouldn't be surprised because again, we know as they keep coming about this rebuild or not rebuild, but rebuild, however you want to, the organization call it. But if they didn't do anything, they cut payroll for a reason. So offensively, even if you get some young stars, like I said, Jordan Walker, he's going to do so much. So I don't see them producing a lot of runs. Again, surprise me, please. Maybe they could be like the former Cleveland Indians from the Major League Baseball movie. Low expectations. They weren't crap, and they weren't expecting to win. They won a whole division in the World Series in that movie. Maybe the Cardinals could be them. I don't see it, but you never know. But other than that, I'm nothing to be alarmed about because it's proven just looking at the roster. I know on paper is one thing, go and play the game, but we're talking about major leagues, and we know what other teams have on their roster. So if those other rosters live up to what they're supposed to do, the Cardinals aren't going to have a lot of offense. It is what it is.
I think it's funny is I think I see the defense being a more head scratching, concerning issue for the full 2025 season than the offense. Like, I don't think we're gonna have a top offense in baseball, let alone the NL. But I think we're gonna be better than what we were last year.
You think better in our division?
Hmm?
We got the Cubs. It's going to be competitive. The Brewers going to be competitive. You think
I'm not saying our team is going to be competitive and we're going to fight for a division title or even a wild card spot. I'm just saying that I think our defense is more concerning than our offense, and I think our offense is going to be better than it was last year. Because our offense last year was pretty bad.
Our offense wasn't all that. Like that's not saying a lot, Joe. That's why
I know, but I'm just like we got
expectations low.
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad that it hinges on two guys. Really, the whole season hinges on two guys.
Crazy.
Jordan Walker and Nolan Gorman. Like
Right.
if those guys don't, and it sucks because they're so young and you have to put that pressure on them. But if they don't turn out to be what they should be, then the whole retool, rebuild, transition era of St. Louis Cardinals baseball is going to be going back a couple more years. You know, like it's going to be pushed back because
I think they waited.
it's those two guys right there. You need those guys to be something. They don't have to be superstars, but they have to be something.
Joe, do you feel, even to this point with a week and a half left until opening day, that Arenado needs to still be traded?
Right now, I just deal with it. I think you just deal with it, honestly. I mean, I think the Astros, they tried, whatever, you know, that's on Nolan, and he might regret that for the rest of his life because he has them on his list to go to. So head scratcher as to what went wrong there. The one that I'm weirded out by is like the Yankees. Even like Stanton, it's been ruled out probably now for 2 weeks with his elbows. He might be having both of them having surgery on, and that's season-ending surgery. Why have they not gone out and tried to trade for Nolan Arenado? Like, it hasn't even been rumored or anything.
They ain't
like
trying
that.
to get money.
They don't have.
But that's idiotic as well, considering they're the Bronx Bombers. They're the big bad Yankees, and a couple of weeks ago, Hal Steinbrenner, I was saying that he's over there comparing himself to the Oakland A's and stuff. Oh, we're not like the Los Angeles Dodgers. We can't spend money. Get out of here. You're the Yankees. You can spend money. Like, it's just ridiculous. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me, but they'd rather roll out with DJ LeMahieu at third base, I guess. And
he hurt right now.
Yeah, so Oswaldo Peraza, I guess, you know, we'll see how that goes. They got Jason Dominguez, who can't catch fly balls in the outfield, and I don't know. Yankees are gonna have a weird year, I think, but it's just weird to me that they didn't. And with how bad their defense was last year, and it was on national television for the whole world to see during the World Series, how bad their defense was, and they don't want to go out there and try to make their defense altogether better. They did with Goldie, but now you can move Jazz to second, and that's his actual position, and have Volpe, who's a Gold Glove red short, and have Nolan Arenado at third. That alone, now that you have Carlos Rodon, Marcus Stroman, and Max Fried in your rotation, who are ground ball pitchers, I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense, but what do I know? I don't know. But I'm happy that Nato's here. You know, like it's over with. It's been over with for a couple weeks. He seems to be happy. Let's just forget about it and let's see what happens. I'm hoping he has an awesome year, and that's that. It makes things harder for the Cardinals' future and like for the right now, but what do you do? You know, and that's what my one of the topics Jamie came up with for ladies' night, where you call out someone in baseball or whatever, or not baseball, but like in a league or sport, is Jeff Paston and Ken Rosenthal. They both wrote articles bashing on John Mozeliak and the Cardinals. You can go to every Wednesday and look at this show, and we do that as well. But for the things that they were bashing Mozeliak about made zero sense, because like they're both saying, "Oh, you have to trade Sonny Gray and Wilson Contreras and Nolan Arenado." They tried. What can they do if they have a no trade clause? Wilson Contreras and Sonny Gray said they want to stay here. Nato didn't agree to a trade to a team on his trade list. So what is Mozeliak supposed to do for that? You got Jeff Passan saying they need to trade Nolan Gorman and Jordan Walker. What the hell is that going to do?
Hell
That
no.
that makes zero sense. Nolan Gorman a year and a half ago, I was all for it. I was talking about it on this show when it's so high. But what are you going to get for him now? You're not going to get anything for him now because all everyone sees is he has potential to hit 30 plus, but he's going to strike out 200 plus times. And Jordan Walker, he hasn't been given a chance. So I don't know. It's just like two guys that everyone respects in baseball, and I love them. They're fun to read and listen to, but you could only bash on the Cardinals so much. And those guys bashing on them for those reasons was idiotic to me. Like Mozeliak's done all he can do.
And Rio, I know that you are a huge Aaron Judge fan.
Yes, I am.
your thoughts in regards to the Yankees losing Soto, Garrett Cole out for the year, the pressure that's going to be on Aaron Judge to carry this team in the 2025 season.
I mean, I'm like what Joe said. 1 to 2 players cannot carry a team. The Dodgers showed that through the entire World Series. It takes a collective unit to win a world championship. When I read that Garrett Cole went down, I was like, well, okay, all right, bullpen, they hurt. When I saw Soto leave and Jobo called it, she was like, I hope he goes across the street, which to me, the Mets are basically just across the street. I was like, well, he did what he was supposed to do. He wanted to be the man. He the man now. But as far as that organization goes as a whole, I think they can spend money. I think they're just waiting for the right player to spend the money on. And you know, you guys, I was sitting here listening, you were talking about the Cards, and I'm like, you know, maybe this is just a mixing bowl of players. And maybe they can find their niche. And maybe they can go on a run. Just like Bunny said, maybe they can do like they did, that Cleveland Indians team did in the movies. You never know. You never know. I know that's like really reaching.
Right.
But, you know, we was just talking about it a few minutes ago, you know, when you were saying about LeBron, how he can bring the best out in other players. And he knows, okay, this the spot on the floor where you got to throw the ball to AD and things like that. Maybe that coaching staff can evaluate this team as a whole and find out, well, hey, maybe we need to try some things. Try some different lineups and see what happens. I'm not saying that's going to work, but it might. So I'm not going to really speak on the Cards right now. I would really say right now, let's just see what they do the first 10 games into the season and see what happens then.
Yeah, I think it's like bless you. I think it's like the first month, because I think the last 2-3 years it's been, April we're under 500, and that's just how things went. Get through the first month, but I'm not gonna sit here and say they're gonna win the division or win a wild card spot, because I'm not thinking that. I could probably say, like I said, the last 2 years with the Blues, they'll be all right, but bless you.
Came over me like, what?
I didn't think the Blues were going to be good last year, and I didn't think they were going to be a playoff team this year, and they might prove me wrong on that, you know. So maybe the Cardinals will do the same thing. That might give us something exciting, you know, to cheer for come September or August, September, October. But I mean, to be realistic, it's probably not going to happen. But I'm excited about this year. And Smooth, I think you said the same thing, because it's different. You know, we're gonna get to see some newer faces on a consistent basis and see some new things. Hopefully, we're seeing more of the 2025 way of how to play baseball. You know, not the Stone Age that the Cardinals have been stuck in for a while. So I'm just excited to see how it's going to play out. You know, I'm going into it with no expectation of anything. I just want to see them play baseball and just finally have fun watching them play baseball. When's the last time you guys watched Cardinals baseball and be excited and get pumped up about it? Besides seeing Clydesdales on the track.
That's why I said keep your expectations low this season, so then you won't be as disappointed and you won't get as frustrated. Because again, we still got a lot of young bucks out there, y'all. There are going to be some errors now. Okendo was in spring training, helping them with the defense, which he does great. We'll see if that pans out, but I'm just expecting to see mediocrity. Not saying they're not giving their all, but they are young. The 2-3 veterans, I don't see them being as impactful because we just looked at what happened last season and that didn't help. So keep expectations on, all I say.
I do want to bring this up before we continue on. One is that I do not want to see a revolving door or constant pieces changing in regards to the team in positions. Like we need to get to a point where, okay, this guy is the center fielder, this guy is the left fielder, this guy, not keep switching from infield to outfield, whatever. We need to have more consistency in regards to the lineup and positions. But also, I want to show this as well. Yadier Molina recently had a statement out about the Cardinals. And he says this is the first time this franchise didn't really sign anybody in free agency, right? When fans see something like that, it's weird. It's weird for us fans right now. I don't want to say they are not competing. That's disrespectful to the players. But as a fan, how are we going to compete this year? It's kind of ironic that he would say that when a lot of the players were looking forward to seeing that face over the last couple of years in spring training, and he's been nowhere to be found. But he did probably make some. He did probably say, he's been going, trying to be there for his family and his son, and a lot of things going on family wise in regards to why he hasn't been with the team. So it looks like it's possible that he still may find some way to be a part of the organization. He did give Ali Marmol some love in regards to a manager. But Joe, if you want to go ahead and say something, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, is me and Brendan talked about this whenever this article came out, is Yachty never signed a contract or was gonna be a coach or this or that. He was kind of just gonna be some guy in the front office. So I can't be too mad at Yachty for what he did because nothing was permanent, and Holiday, that was a different story because his was a week before opening day. He was going to be a hitting coach. And then out of nowhere, it's, now I have 18, 19, 20-year-old kids and I want to, and I want to be there for them. I don't know. I don't hate Holiday. It's whatever. That was just I think that's the night and day difference between these two guys is Holiday had a legit job, with the organization and then just dipped last minute. But I mean, they both want to be dads for their sons that are good at baseball. And Yachty, in the article, they moved out of Puerto Rico and they're in Texas now. And his son Yanu is a left hitting catcher and he looks to be like Yachty. So, it's good for him. It's exciting. He has given 20 plus years of his life to the St. Louis Cardinals. Half his life has been with us. So if he wants to take time and be a dad, then go for it.
Yeah.
Got you. Let me go ahead and do this. All right. So I don't know what's going on with this screen here. Let's give me 1 second here. But yeah, so that's the as you see, that's the Platform Sports Talk Show. Really good.
To give your computer some of that drink.
I don't know what.
Whoa!
There we go. Now we back to normal. Yeah, what was going on with that screen? Yeah, I think StreamYard has some extra liquor that I ain't know anything about. But
Heck no.
we good now. So that's the Cardinals talk. That's baseball talk. Our last topic, in which another good topic that I hope y'all are definitely ready for. Cause I thought about it. I'm like, man, well, I'm sorry, we got two more topics, but this next topic here, after the Luka Doncic trade, it was like a big shock around the whole world. Like, man, that really happened. So it made me think, like, man, what is another trade in sports that had you like, wow, I didn't see that coming. So, Rio, what you got for everyone? What's a trade that you was like, man, I did not see that coming?
You said a trade in sports overall?
A trade in sports overall.
Peyton Manning going to Denver Broncos was one.
So the question is, was that a trade or a free agency?
No, that was a free agent.
Yes.
Was that a free agency?
Yeah, so it had to be a trade.
Okay. Man. Let's go to Herschel Walker trade.
Okay.
Let's do the Herschel Walker. What was that? Minnesota Vikings?
Yeah, with Dallas.
With Dallas.
Yeah.
Never saw that coming. Honestly, I never did. Who won in that trade? I want to say it was, I think the Cowboys ended up winning.
At the end of the day, it was Dallas.
End of the day.
Yeah.
It was, that's before it became Jerry's world.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there are a lot out there. I could go to Lou Alcindor. What was that? He was a Milwaukee Buck before he became a Los Angeles Laker.
Yeah.
That trade right there was really would have never seen that coming.
So go back to the Herschel Walker. What was the big significance about that move?
I think Dallas got draft picks out of that trade right there.
Okay, that was the start of
the Emmitt Smith era.
Yeah.
And all Jimmy Johnson did was say, hey, I want that 300-pound lineman. I want that 300-pound lineman. That he's about 6'6", 6'7". We just gonna put a wall up, hand him the ball off, and let him run.
Okay. Okay. Bunny, what about yourself? What was the trade that had you like, whoa, I didn't see that coming?
It's not before my time, but it was at the beginning of what they're forming to be their dynasty. Yeah, I know Bulls fan, Michael Jordan era, but before Michael Jordan to get his first ring, they had to do a couple of trades. And one, our boy, Charles Oakley.
Oh, yeah.
Getting traded to the Knicks. And
Yeah.
got Cartwright. And then, as they say, the rest is history to build on that first three-peat.
Okay, good call. Jobo.
Brennan mentioned this one, and I completely forgot about it. But 20. What?
You said she cheated.
I'm not cheating. I can think of another one right now.
No, it's the liquor. Don't worry. Jobo, it's the liquor. Don't worry, hon.
All right, no, for real. When Joe Kelly and Alan Craig were traded to Boston for John Lackey, and it's because Matheny didn't want to play Oscar Tavares, and so Mosaic was like, okay, well, now you don't have Alan Craig. Now you have to play Oscar Tavares. So forgot all about that one. And I remember seeing interviews and like Kelly was shocked. Alan Craig was crying. And we got a Bulldog and John Lackey for 2 seasons. So that was a good one, I thought.
And it still hurts this organization to this day of not having Oscar Tavares. You know what I'm saying? I recall the day I found out that he died, and I saw on the news, and I was like, "What?" Because I was fully 1000% this dude is going to carry this team to a whole different level because he was projected to be. He was like on the same rise of like Pujols was.
Okay.
Like they was praising this dude. You know what I'm saying? And he made that postseason home run, Joe, against the Giants in the rain. And it was like, okay, you know, like he's finally getting it. You know what I'm saying? And he had so much future. And then when he died, it was just like, but I feel like for the Cardinals, Joe, that's when, you know, I've been talking about this dark cloud in St. Louis. I think that's when the dark cloud happened, was when he passed away. Because it's like we had that centerpiece, you know, carry the team for the next whatever years, and he died. And just like that, it changed the whole trajectory of who's going to be the next guy to be that guy on the team.
Yeah, until they start looking like they did in the early 2010s and stuff, that's the point you can go back to, you know, and say that's when everything changed. Sadly,
yeah,
you know, it's crazy that you know that's what it is. But I mean, it happened in 2014, so I mean we're 10 years past that, which is crazy. So that's been
already.
It's been a while. I mean, I remember me and Brennan. It was like a week after our wedding that this happened. So yeah, 10 years.
He was outfielder.
That's what I thought.
He was right field.
That's what I thought.
The same position that Jordan Walker plays. But yeah, that was a huge loss in regards to the Carter because they had all their chips on Tavares being that guy, and they just fully really haven't recovered. I mean, they had Jason Hayward. They had before that Beltran.
Yeah, I remember Beltran.
That's when the outfield carousel started, really. You
right,
know,
right.
Like that's. I mean, I was listening to Kerry Davis and Stalter today, and it's like outfield, specifically center field, but outfield has been just that position that we just haven't been able to get right. You know, and it's probably dating back to about, you know, that. So it's just crazy how it all just kind of domino effect.
Right.
I had another one, you all, but I'm not getting the name right. Keenan traded him to the Red Wings. And they put a dagger in our organization as far as not trying to be competitive. Because, you know, the Blues Red Wings rivalry in the 90s was unmatched. And they traded him. What's his name?
You talking about Shanahan?
Shanahan, yeah. And that's very impactful to the Blues organization for that move.
Brandon Shanahan.
I think he was I don't know if he was traded to the Red Wings because I'm pretty positive Shanahan was traded for Chris Pronger.
Right, he was.
And everyone hated Chris Pronger because Shanahan was such a beloved, you know, player in St. Louis. So like Pronger would get booed and stuff, you know, by players here and whatnot. But
that wasn't a trade that I wouldn't have seen coming because he was going to be him next with a whole man. That Mike Keenan to this day cannot defend himself on requesting for that to happen. Can anybody make any sense on that one? Chris Pronger was good. We needed him. But at the same time, and you see what Shanahan did with the Red Wings? Like, damn, why? Would they have? Come on, y'all can't tell me it's one of the worst 3 trades in Blues history. Come on, that is a bonus one for me.
Yeah, but so much good happened with Pronger, though. I mean, he's a hockey.
And I know, and it was good, but think about it. Offensively, I'm just comparing once Shanahan with the Red. It was a wrap. He was busting the Blues. And that was our rival, and we could never, ever get past the playoffs. Even regular season games. They used to hasten of them octopi on the ice rink when they would win. Like, oh.
Now they haven't made the playoffs like since their dynasty.
That's what they did. But I'm telling you, that 90s rival with the Red Wings and the Blues was unmatched, y'all. Here I am, just young and still. I was like, I hate the Red Wings. Like, that is not fair. They keep beating us. Oh, I can't stand them.
And then because Brett Hull, he played with the Dallas Stars and won the championship. So that was crazy too. You know,
but I mean, he's in his career. I don't knock that one. You know, people do that all the time. End of the career, gonna know that's different. But at the peak of your prime and playing, that's like if the Cardinals would have gotten rid of Pujols in like 2005. You know what I'm saying? The right year he went to the playoffs and the World Series we lost. Okay, let's just get rid of him. And y'all see won a whole nother World Series with him or two. And then you see how much we would need him. That'd have been crazy if we would have got rid of him. So that's all I'm saying. Like for Shanahan to be traded to the Red Wings, like, no. Even though I like Pronger, but
What's your trade, Smooth?
So for me, I had to think about this, and I didn't come to a conclusion until a couple of hours prior to the show. Because I'm like, man, what is a certain trade that really had me like, wow? And then I thought about it, and back in 1999, in exchange for a second and a fifth round pick, exactly. That was.
That's what I do say 99. I already knew. I'm like, yeah. I thought that too.
that was a move that changed St. Louis Rams history forever, and that was the one Marshall Faulk. We all thought, like, man, you know, can this team ever get over the hump? Are we gonna still be those sorry ass Rams? And then in the off season, we made the move to trade for one of the best multi-purpose football players you would ever see in the game of football ever. And we made the trade for Marshall Faulk. And you all saw what happened after that. So that was a move that I was like, man, I didn't see that coming, but I'm glad it did. And you saw what happened after that.
I'm not going to bring that one up.
Uh-oh. Why you say that?
Please do. Go ahead.
Oh, this goes into your Lakers boys.
Okay. Okay.
And I'll never forget this that night. I sat right there and I watched the NBA draft. And David Stern comes to the podium and he says, there's been a trade. Charlotte Hornets
are
going to trade the draft rights of Kobe Bryant to the LA Lakers for Vlade Divac.
That's a good one.
I said, what?
That's a good one.
I said, what? You're going to trade the draft rights to an 18-year-old, 19-year-old kid to Showtime?
Well, body though. Nothing against him, but you know.
All I can say is Jerry West saw something.
Yes, he did.
That nobody else saw.
He was a visionary.
That's the only thing I could think of. Jerry West saw something that nobody else saw. And after that, he evolved. That's all I can say.
The rest is history.
That shocked me that night. I was like in awe. I was like, what? And to this day, I still say Mamba mentality would have never been created if he would have stayed in Charlotte.
Hell no.
That's how you really feel, Smooth.
Mamba mentality wouldn't have never been created if he would have stayed in Charlotte.
I mean, because truthfully, like if he would have played for a non-big market team,
and that what it boiled down to, what you just said,
he would have gotten the pub that he has gotten as doing his tenure as a Laker. It just wouldn't have happened.
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't happen.
It wouldn't. Sorry. You know what I mean? I know Grandmama Larry Johnson was amazing, during that time, but
there was nothing else in Charlotte.
It wouldn't have been nothing. You know what I'm saying? Kobe Bryant wouldn't have had no kind of, I mean, he'll be known as a great player, but in regards to, like you said, just having that Black Mamba personification and playing in the city where he played in.
Yes.
That just changed the whole game for him.
Yes, it did. It did. And like I told you, when I first met you, I used to be a Kobe hater.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I used to be a Kobe.
Why would that be in your DNA? Why?
Look, he and I both know we grew up in the Jordan era. That was the standard. That was the standard at the time. And nobody to me really wanted to take on what me and Smooth called the dog mentality.
Right.
Nobody wanted to do that. There was nobody in the league that had that dog mentality besides Mike. And I asked this question to a lot of guys, and and you can go and look on the list. Mike got drafted in what was that, 84?
Right.
Go and look at that 84 list and look how many players that's on that list. It's either one or two players on that list besides Mike that got NBA championships.
Olajuwon.
Olajuwon is the main one on that list. Is the only other player that has a ring on that list. Everybody else, he wiped them clean out. So Kobe, when he came into the league, he wanted to be better than what he was. So he took that opportunity to get to know Mike, to find out what makes him tick, what makes him, how do you get to this spot on the floor? How do you do this? How do you do that? Everybody else in the league was scared of Mike. Kobe said,
no, I want that spot.
I want your spot. And he did everything he could. He damn near took the spot. Because the motto is he wore 24 because what, 24 is one better than 23. And that was why he wore 24. So to me, you got Kobe and Mike like right here. They won and won. You'll never see that again. You will never see that again. In my opinion, you will never see that again in NBA. You'll never see that again. Now, in some other sports, you might, but to see two dogs that's almost mirrored of each other, I don't think you're gonna find that in sports right now. Today, no, but I don't think there's any other player that has mirrored another player from a generation before him that has taken, and he actually took it to another level. He really did.
And with that being said, Joe, I want to ask you, if and when Ovechkin does eclipse that mark, should he be considered the greatest?
And I was going to say that. That was
no, only because of what I said earlier, that even after Gretzky still has over 1,000 more points than him, than anyone in the league. And it's just, I hate trying to talk about like greatest sometimes though, because it really just depends on the time. Like hockey was so different when it was easier to score goals when Gretzky was in the league. It's gotten harder to do that. But I'm still gonna say here, Gretzky's still the greatest. Ovi's the greatest goal scorer.
So let me ask you this, Joe. Was Gretzky career, did his career really take off when he got traded, right? When he got traded,
different teams.
Yeah, when he got I want to say, was it when he got to the Kings, did it kind of like take off? Or was he better when he was what? He was an Islander, right?
No, Rangers.
Ranger. Was it better? Was he his? Let me say this: was he better in his prime, in his younger days, or was he better as he was in his prime, getting to a point where he was ready to exit out of the game?
I think he was just as good all the way through, honestly. I mean, we're talking I think it's like 1,200 more points than anyone else in the league. I mean, that you're not just good for the one part of your career to be able to do that. You're pretty damn good your entire career.
Because that's when I really started watching hockey, was because of him. That's when I started watching a little bit of hockey. Because I was wondering why is this guy, can nobody stop this guy? He's getting all these shots at goal. Can't nobody stop this guy? I mean, he can't be that damn good. Well, maybe,
and that's what I think about watching Connor McDavid right now. Like how fast he is, and he just skates right through 3 or 4 skaters and just top shelves it. Like why is that? Why is he so much? I don't know. They're just different breeds out there. Just different. Every sport has them.
I think Ovechkin is just too damn big, and everybody don't want to feel that power. That's what I think about. When I watch him play, I'm like, y'all just scared of the man.
Well, it's funny is because when he first came up and first part of his career, I couldn't stand him because it's like he just stands there at the point waiting for a shot to come to him, and he just
We used to do that.
and then
Yes.
he still does that, time to time, but his game has excelled since then. Then he's become a more complete player. He actually sometimes plays defense now too. He didn't do that when he was younger, but yeah, it just sucks like trying to compare who's the best of all time because I just think eras matter and
Yeah.
all sports have changed, like sports have changed. Basketball's changed since Michael Jordan to what it is now, and same thing with hockey. You can talk baseball. Everyone's gonna always compares Babe Ruth to Shohei Ohtani. I mean, I think that's just kind of a silly one, but Babe Ruth back in the day, his diet was beer and hot dogs. Like if Babe Ruth was alive today, he probably would do the same thing that Shohei Ohtani does to try to be the type of player Shohei Ohtani is. So it's just different eras, different types of the game, and
that man make it look so easy though.
Yeah.
Ohtani makes it look so easy though.
Yeah, he's
I
amazing.
love it when he comes to the plate. I'm like, so what we gonna do?
Right, and now he's about to bring back the pitching because he should be pitching by May. So he do that Dodgers starting rotation. Oh my goodness! If they stay healthy, oh my goodness.
That's the big thing right there. Because when's the last time you seen a Dodgers rotation stay healthy from opening day?
It's
until
Clayton.
the playoffs.
I think Kershaw is supposed to be healthy too.
No, he's back, but he hasn't played a full season in probably about 10 years.
My thing with him is
he like 55 years old.
Yeah,
so.
my thing with him is he just
Not 55. Now wait a minute. He can't be older than LeBron. Don't do him like
he
that.
got a monkey off his back now, so it really don't matter no more.
He got 2 monkeys.
Yeah, he got 2 monkeys off his back now, so it don't even matter no more. So to me, he's just along for the ride. So just let the young bucks carry me to the promised land.
Speaking of promised land, let's get right to our very last topic. Are you ready for March Madness? Because
Let the madness begin.
we have a couple of those tournaments that has already concluded, like the NBC and the West Coast Conference. Shout out to Drake and Gonzaga.
Ooh.
But this week, starting, I think tomorrow. Well, I think some games started already today, but starting tomorrow. Starting tomorrow and the rest of the week, you got all the other major players, major conferences doing their conference championship. And I'll go in and say, for me, of course, I've been talking about Mizzou and how high I've been on them. Unfortunately, they have lost like 4 out their last 5.
Yes, they have.
So it's been a bad stretch of games, and I think to me, it's gotten to a point in which they're the hunted because teams know now that they are a threat. And as I told someone else before, Dennis Gates, the head coach of Mizzou, teams are looking out for you, and now they have scouted you. So it's like now that they know who you are, they know how to do this and do that. Now it's your job to say, okay, how can we counteract how teams are playing us? And that right now has been the struggle that I hope starting tomorrow, Mizzou can find a way to get back to what they do best, which is playing good defense and have elite offense. I feel that they should benefit from playing at a neutral site. So no more playing at the opponent's home floor. Now, from now on, it's neutral site. So now let's see you just ball. You know what I'm saying? Because for some guys, it's the end of the road.
It is.
So bring back that magic, but you have to make adjustments. Because once again, all these teams that didn't take you serious, they saw you and they're like, oh, okay, wait a minute. This team is for real. And now they're preparing against you. So what are you going to do to counter react? And can they do that? One thing I've heard, or I would say in regards to his last 2 seasons as a head coach, is that he's a great offensive mind in regards to Dennis Gates, but defense.
That's where he lacked.
has been the issue.
It has been.
So
they lost a lot of close games.
I'm looking forward because the SEC, and I said this before, the SEC is probably is king right now in basketball right now.
They surpassed the ACC. They sure
Yeah.
have.
SEC is king in regards to basketball. How people thought that it was that way in football, it's actually that way in basketball.
They own 3 sports
and that's why Mizzou has so much respect, and they're still ranked because they're playing in the toughest conference.
Yeah.
So they've gone through the gauntlet of playing
yes.
SEC teams and being successful by having a over 500 record. So that's going to look good in the big dance. But like I said, now can Dennis Gates get it together and get his team going where they can counteract how other teams are going to approach him starting tomorrow? And on the other team, Smoooth had a great start to the season, but then they had injuries, and now they have to win out. They have to win the A-10 tournament.
They'll be playing in NIT.
The issue is that they have, once again, a lot of injuries. So they're like playing like with a 7, maybe 8-man rotation. And they have to play every day starting Thursday. They have to play every day from Thursday to Sunday. No buys. And that's going to be hard to play 4 games in a row, 4 games in 4 days with maybe 7 to 8 guys, if that.
Only a few teams have done that.
So, we'll see what happens. But Rio, let's get your thoughts in regards to March Madness.
I mean, you got the women's side, you got the men's side.
Rio, Smoooth,
You're
you're
speaking,
muted.
we can't hear you.
I don't know why it muted.
All right.
okay.
How about now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. I don't know what happened, but go ahead, Rio.
I said on the you got both sides. You got the men's side, you got the women's side. On the women's side, you got a lot of teams that could be national champions this year. A lot of them. South Carolina is not the dog right now. On the men's side, Smoooth touched on it. I was going to speak on it. SEC is the best college basketball conference in the country right now. But when it comes to these conference tournaments, you playing a lot of games in a short amount of time, and every game is a game of adjustments. And basketball is a game of runs. You can get a 4-minute, you can get a 4-0 run, you can get an 8-0 run, and you call that timeout, and you just got to make the adjustments. But as far as going into March Madness, every team that I have seen that should be a number 1 seed is a legit number 1 seed. On the men's side, on the women's side, every team that I've seen that is a number 1 seed, they deserve to be to the tournament. This year is going to be exciting. There's no knock to the Mizzou fans. There's no knock to anybody that likes Mizzou. I'm a Duke guy, but always been a Duke guy. And I'm gonna ride that Duke blue, like you were saying earlier. Joe, you gonna go by colors, and I told you go blue. So that blue mean just root them Blue Devils on for me. I would really appreciate it. But if they can win the ACC tournament, which is great, they're gonna still be a number 1 seed. But when you go into that field of 64, everything changes. It's a different ball game then. So my thing right now is each team that's been projected as a number 1 seed, they need to win that conference tournament. And let's just see what happens. I mean, it's gonna be an exciting year for college basketball on both sides of the spectrum, women and men.
And I do want to add on in regards to the women that the women's game, the women's portion should be as equally or more probably exciting than the men.
Yes.
Because this is actually the first year that women's basketball, I saw an article that they're going to be paid like the men's teams are
throughout the tournament. Yes, I saw that too.
So that's huge for women's basketball. But
wasn't it last year that they had better, higher views or whatever?
Probably so. Yeah.
This year gonna probably be the same.
Yeah.
That was Kaylin and Clark and Angel Reese's last year's playing, so people want to see that rivalry.
But yeah, I mean, you looking at what LSU doing with Flauta Johnson. You're looking, of course, at reigning defending champions, South Carolina. You're still looking at Paige Buchers with UConn. You got Notre Dame with
Hidalgo and
USC with Juju Watkins.
That is my girl right now.
Yeah. So like I said, the women may even get more acclaim in regards to or viewers the whole nine over the men because of what's going on with the game of basketball, in which Aisha Foy talked about that with y'all last week on Ladies Night. So very exciting in regards to March Madness. Joe, any thoughts in regards to March Madness?
Brendan loves it. He loves this time of year because baseball's in full swing and he gets to watch basketball. College basketball. I know it's on in the background. He'll be here at his desk working, and the screen I'm looking at right now will have March Madness on. So it's exciting. I like putting in a bracket and it being over in the first game. So I don't really pay that much attention to it, but it's sports. So I'll pay attention to it when it's on the TV. But once baseball comes on, don't want anything to do with it. Yeah.
And lastly, because I know, Bunny, you were excited about March Madness, so give us your thoughts.
Told y'all, let the madness begin. And yes, when you get to work from home, get basketball on this screen, basketball on that screen, update here. I love it. A nonstop basketball. It's my favorite sport for a reason. Love the buzzer beaters. Love all the passion and energy you get from the teams. I love the Cinderella stories. I love the mid-majors schools that are, going to make their way through. So just love all this basketball. And this is just the beginning, because once we hit the Final Four, that means what? NBA playoffs start. So come on, let's bring it.
And not to be petty, but like...
Yes, you need to be petty. You do.
That's how you gonna start.
If you start off that way, then yes, you do mean to be petty.
But the best thing to me, the best things to me is when your favorite team loses and you see the fans crying and they be all red in the face and be like, "Oh my God, Mom!"
Not coming down, the old mascara running.
Like
the hugging of the little child next to them and devastation.
Hey,
yeah, I don't care. Y'all lost. Let's keep going. They must have had too much money riding on this, because I ain't doing all that.
Shouts out to the producer, the cameraman who be getting those reactions.
Don't let it be a 1-1 and he missed that.
The game-winning shots. I love those. I love storming the court.
Seeing players realize, oh, this is my last
year. It's over. Real world starts now.
Oh, give me a hug, because now I got to work at McDonald's for the rest of my...
They threw the towel over his head. Don't want nobody to see his face.
That's, hey, I'm telling you.
That emotion, those raw emotions, that's what makes you love it, though.
Yeah.
Raw.
But
I like it, though.
This has been a great episode of your Wednesday night Sports Delight, the platform sports talk show. Show went over 2 hours. So anytime it goes over 2 hours, that means we talked about some stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And we had some great conversations that I knew that tonight was going to be that night to have them, especially with the whole LeBron James, Stephen A conversation. I knew that when I brought it up that it was going to be a lengthy conversation, but that's why we had this platform to do so. So ladies, thank y'all very much for y'all time, and I hope that y'all have a great rest of y'all week. Stay warm and enjoy 314 Day coming up
Friday.
Miss Dub said this was a great episode. Thank you very much, Miss Dub. Everyone who's tuned in everywhere on social media, make sure y'all tell everyone, hey, this is an amazing sports talk show that's been going down for 8 years. Going down in April, 8 years consistently. That just is a very, very just great show to check out. So share the word. Spread the word and share this stream with others and everyone else. Just enjoy the Platform Sports Talk Show, because once again, it is your Wednesday night sports delight, the Platform Sports Talk Show. I am your boy Smooth, along with
Rio.
And you had the ladies holding things down as well. Shouts out to the ladies. And once again, check us out. We'll be back next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Give us a follow everywhere on social media, Facebook, X, Instagram. Go on YouTube, subscribe, and click on that bell so anytime we go live, you will be notified. We on Hot 365 Radio, where it's always hot. It's the Platform Sports Talk Show. Every first Wednesday of the month, you have Ladies Night. Every last Wednesday of the month, you have the Man Cave. And if you want to check out something outside of sports talk, you have Smooth Conversations. Goes down every Thursday, y'all, 6 p.m. on YouTube. Go to Smooth Conversations. Once again, that's Smooth with 3 O's, and on Beat District Radio. Go on your phones, put in beatdistrictradio.com, or go to the Live 365 app. And then when you go to the app, just put in Beat District Radio and add as a favorite. I was just told the other day that we will have, in regards to Beat District, they will have a separate new app where you just go right into the Play Store and put in Beat District Radio. That'll be coming very soon. So stay tuned for that. And Joe, I am not slurring everything. I saw that. I saw that. But yeah, once again, this has been an amazing show. But once again, definitely follow Smooth Conversations. Follow everything in regards to Smooth Productions, Smooth with 3 O's, and you'll be amazed at what you see, and you just want to do incredible things sports-wise, and just in life in general. We want to make you smile, make you just want to enjoy what Smooth Productions has to offer. So with that being said, y'all have a wonderful rest of y'all evening. Have a great night, and we out this thing. Have a good evening, y'all. The Platform Sports Talk Show, the main show.
Good night.
What you have just experienced was brought to you